everyone, and welcome to Tuesday night. Tonight, we are doing the live card readings with one of my favorite card readers, Jill Hogan. She'll be on in just a second. I don't know if anyone else is feeling the energy shift tonight, but with the full moon and everything, it's definitely been an interesting day. It's been an emotional day for a lot of us, and I think tonight's show is going to be just as interesting. So, without further ado, let me bring in Jill, our fabulous card reading this evening. There she is. Hey, Miss Jill.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was just saying to our audience, the energy for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now, at least, has just felt, I keep feeling like something's coming. I don't know if I'm talking like globally or universally or personally, but I just keep waiting for something to come on, to come ahead. I don't know if you felt it. I mean, tonight with the full moon, like I had said to you before the show, like I have a massive migraine, which always happens with me with full moons. So I don't know if that's what it is, but I'm just feeling like a different energy, something.
I've been feeling it. It's definitely been a shift in things going on. Definitely feels I don't know, very tense for me right now. So
yeah, well, we are wrapping up the winter as it was, so we are getting this weekend. I think we're changing the clocks, so that's going to change us a little bit. The weather's going to break hopefully a little bit, so everything. And I love, personally, I love spring. I love the warming up. I love seeing the flowers, like the new beginnings and all that kind of stuff. I love the spring and I love the warm weather. So I'm like counting down where I can, like get rid of these heavy sweaters once and for all. So I don't know if that's what's heading for us. Something's heading. Something's coming. I don't know what it is, but something's coming. That's what I feel anyhow. And yesterday, and I have a deck coming to you, my friend Jill. Yesterday, I was meditating in my office, and something told me, "All right, Dale, all those cards you have, and you know how many cards I have in my office.
so many.
All those cards, you have to give them all away. They're not yours anymore." And
Oh,
every deck I looked at, I was told where it went to, like the person's name
wow.
went out. So everyone is getting cards delivered. I'm not keeping any of them. Don't ask me where that came from. I have a couple of decks at my house that I have, my
Right.
personal decks, but these were all my other decks in my office. And I'm like, all right, everyone has to go. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But when you get that really strong sense, all right, I gotta do this. Don't ask don't ask me where it comes from, but okay, that's what I'm doing. So
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of
Well,
weird.
it is kind of weird.
But you're
Kind
getting
of
one
weird.
tomorrow, my friend. So
Cool.
yeah,
Exciting.
coming in. All right.
Whoa,
So
whoa, whoa.
are
Hold on, my
you
computer's.
ready, or do you need a few more minutes?
I I think I'm ready. I'm
All
ready.
right. Okay, buddy. If you want to bring in the first reader, that would be great. And there it is. Hi, David. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm very excited.
Okay, so this is Jill. She's going to be the card reader. So I'm just going to kind of sit here and observe, and you two are going to do your thing. Okay.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, David. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. Good. All right. Just shuffling my deck a little bit here. Just give me a second. Okay. So I'm going to lay the cards out, but as I read them, I'll pull each one up so that you can see them.
Okay.
And then I just ask that you save any questions for the end. Let me get through the first part of the reading. And then if I need to go back to the cards, I will, to help answer any other questions that you might be having.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Okay. I gotta get a little closer here. All right. Oh. You've got the 3 of Pentacles. 2. Wow. All right. we're going to go on a little adventure here.
That's my life.
Okay, so first of all, every single card came up upside down for me. Which I think last time, Dale, it did it a little bit for me, but this was every single card in this reading. And we started with Pentacles, which I like Pentacles, but Pentacles to me usually mean there's some underlying things. There we go. This is my 3 of Pentacles card. First of all, I didn't tell you what kind of cards I use. I use a Guardian Tarot deck. So they're very nature-based. You're going to see lots of trees and faces and things like that, but it's not a traditional tarot deck, okay? So as we look at the 3 of Pentacles, you can see you in the forefront there, but there's some things in the past. There's some connections. You know, I have people here and I have a connection down here. So I'm just going to explore this a little bit with you. I feel like there's kind of like a little bit of an emptiness. There's a little bit of a sadness that I'm seeing with this card with you. And I feel like there's people that have passed, maybe that you long for, but there's connections down here on earth that maybe long for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. So I feel like, I feel like they left you too soon. Maybe they left you too soon. These people that have left you, and it's more than one. It's more than one. It's not just one person. But there's something here. Give me a second here and see. Yeah. So you're doing things right now in your life that are counterproductive. And these people that have passed, they're watching you, and you need to kind of, in order for you to fully function again and to feel whole again, you need to let some stuff, you just need to let some stuff go. If you don't let it go, you're not going to be able to grow inside. That personal growth is just going to stay stagnant, and you're going to kind of just be stuck, for a lack of better wording on that. So these behaviors, maybe these patterns that you have, maybe you had them much younger, and these people that have passed knew about this, and they didn't see it as a problem. It wasn't a problem. It was love, maybe, for you, and it was how they knew how to be. It was just how they knew how to be, and they didn't mean any harm by it, but it kind of harmed you a little bit. And then when they left, you kind of started self-sabotaging, doing things so that you couldn't grow. And I need to see, and you're just lost. This is the next card in my reading, and we jump over to the Wands, and Wands is one of my favorite ones. And you can see you've kind of come to the top of this tower, and you've climbed up to this tower, but in that process, you've completely isolated yourself from everyone. There's no room up there for anyone else, because you want to get past things, but you're stuck, and you want to be alone, but you're longing to not be alone. Makes sense? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
very much.
Okay, so you see my birds. Birds are big to me. You know, I have a robin that has spent 10 years, and it's the same robin. And whenever I'm stuck, I see it. And birds are kind of big to me. And, you know, those birds out there, those are all the people who, they miss you. Like, they miss the you that they know and love. And they kind of just, they're there. They haven't left. They're not gone. They're not leaving you. But you've pulled aside yourself, and you've isolated yourself, and But you're watching out at them, and you're connected in a way that they don't know. You still think about them, but you don't want to be around them. Excuse me, I dropped a card. Okay. So I told you we were going on an adventure. We're kind of all over the place. So now we've come to the Two of Cups, and trying to not get the glare from the thing. So, there's a life cycle here. There's a lot of things going on here. You see that beautiful tree with all those leaves growing from their head. You're going to get past this. Like whatever is holding you back and whatever you're stuck right now, as long as you stop self-sabotaging yourself, beautiful things are going to start happening for you. This is kind of to me, this is kind of like a medicinal kind of sign over here. Everything's backwards in the camera, by the way, over here. And I feel like you need to start meditating. You need to look inside yourself. You need to start working on you and, I don't know, the things that make you happy again, and not worry about anything else. Just stay inside for a little while. And then all of a sudden something beautiful is going to happen. I'm not sure when, but if you stay inside yourself and you work on yourself and you plant some new seeds, some new thoughts, some new ideas, how you want your life to be, and you kind of focus on that for a little bit, you're going to find that all of a sudden beautiful things are going to slowly, a butterfly, something small is just it's going to come across, and you're going to be like, wow, that's because I'm working here and I'm working on me. And then we're back to Pentacles. We're going all over the place. Okay. So this is another one of my beautiful trees. And down below, remember I talked about those seeds, plant those seeds and things are going to grow. You see those daisies growing down there. You're going to plant those seeds and they're going to grow. And I feel like you're going to look to somebody. I feel like this is you here. Do you see that somebody's entwined there? You see that little boy kind of entwined, and there's an older female figure, kind of, all of her branches are wrapped around you because she's holding on to you, and she has wisdom. She may have told you in past conversations, or maybe when you start looking inside of yourself, she's going to come to you and she's going to make you feel, kind of help you squeeze your pieces back together again. Does that make sense? Kind of like bring you back into her embrace. You're not as lost as maybe you think you are, The Queen of Pentacles, she's a strong girl, she's not messing around. And, as you learn to celebrate and treasure yourself as a whole person, things are going to be better. They're going to be better for you. And it's just time that you really take that time to reflect on the role you play in this process and where you want to be. You need to be truly able to tap into that inner jubilance, that inner joy that you have. You need to take you have it. It's there. You just haven't really listened to it very much. Not really paying attention to it very much.
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, well, the cards are telling me you're not really. They don't usually tell me things that we don't need to hear, right? So, I mean, this is quite the adventure of you. It definitely is. You have some high up cards here. We started off, with the Two of Pentacles. I mean, the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, and we kind of traveled around those low numbers, and then we got the Queen, and now, the Ace of Wands. She is like birds. I love these cards because they have so many birds. So this is a stark difference from, do you believe and you trust on this journey? That was card number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You see that kind of shallow soul there? kind of we talked about that already, right? You're starting to grow those limbs back, those roots back. You're not so barren, you know. People are coming to you and enjoying spending time with you again because you have found who you need to be. You're gonna go on this journey. You're gonna find who you need to be, and it's gonna be little bits and pieces. It's really hard to see here. Well, maybe not so bad. Do you see those little sticks? And
Yeah.
the birds? No. All right. So they're, this isn't happening all at once. This is gonna take you some time. This is gonna take you some time to work through, but you're gonna work through it. And your little birds are those people that you've pushed away, and they're gonna come and they're gonna give you little bits and pieces back that you need. Just little bits and pieces. They can't give you everything. They can't make this happen for you. You have to do that. But maybe they have a piece of advice, or maybe you go to lunch with somebody that you're missing, or maybe you just make a phone call, and they give you a little bits and pieces of knowledge maybe that you need to help continue on this journey to make yourself whole. Yeah, you're because you're not whole right now, you're missing the significance of all of these little things that are happening around you. You're just not seeing them because you're just not whole right now. And you're you light a match and it burns, right? And most people blow it out when it gets kind of close to their fingers because they're like, ow, that's going to hurt. I don't want to do that. And you're just like, well, I know it's going to hurt, but I may as well hurt. So I'm just going to let it burn my fingers because I need to feel that hurt. And I don't know what that's in connection to. I'm not quite seeing that, but that's what you're doing right now. You're just letting it, you're letting these little things just eat away at you, and you need to blow it out for lack of a better word. You're the one who's in control of this. This is your journey, and you are so in control of this. And then, my star card. I really can't wait to ask you a question when we're done. So we went from this guy, right, who's kind of starting to reach back out there and be like, okay, I'm going to be okay with this. I'm going to start, stopping that match before it burns to my fingers. And people are going to come help me a little bit along the way. And I'm going to accept that because I'm worthy of that. And then, you're really going to come into yourself. You're going to find your direction. Do you see that North Star up there? It's kind of the way we find our way to where we need to be, right? Yeah. And there's still that significant, I don't know who this person is that's embracing you, and if they've passed or if they're here, but they have you in their thoughts and their arms and all of the time. And they're still here because as you're looking to the North Star, you have that owl he's guiding you. Like, again, this journey that you're going to go on isn't going to days, weeks. It's going to be a little while. But when you stop and look in yourself, you're going to always have somebody there that's helping you get to where you need to get to the next step. So you have to remember that no matter how much wisdom you're getting from these guides, you're getting from this significant person or being that's kind of still holding on to you, it doesn't really matter what they're telling you if you don't believe it. So you really have to believe what you're feeling and what they're saying to you. Reflect on it. You don't have to own it if it's not something that's in line with what you want to do. But if you just continue on this path that you're on and you don't try to work on yourself, this attitude is going to kind of catch up with you a little bit, right? And it's just going to keep you down. You're not going to be able to grow. And you kind of just need to start listening to the things around you. Start listening, I don't know, to the birds chirping or listening. You just need to start honing in on maybe what people are telling you. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to like it or want it or any of that, but you just have to listen.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. So do you have any questions for me?
Uh, I feel like I have a lot, but I don't know. I don't know
Okay. Well,
how to.
a lot more. Do we need to go deeper into what we were talking about? Do I need to pull a few more cards? Is that what you're feeling? I
No,
don't want to know too many things.
everything that happened in succession with the cards is basically like questions that I'm trying to ask myself, but I don't know the answers to, if that makes sense. I've
Okay.
been asking myself questions of trying to figure out who I am, and I haven't figured out an answer to that because I believe I know who I am, but there's been a song that I've been listening to a lot, and it's an old Linkin Park song,
Mm-hmm.
and it's titled "Lost." So, uh, I it's what I
Okay.
it's
Well, let's
what
do
I
that.
feel right now.
So, all right. You're gonna get what you wish for. What you said you kind of lost, and you're not sure, but you know who who you are, but you're not listening, or you're not paying attention. Um, it's funny how these guys keep coming back out. So, our wands. I just had to pull another card while you were talking because it felt like it needed to come out. So, and it's funny because there's a full moon in that card. And there's a full moon tonight. And we were just talking about this crazy full moon and all the energy that
It's been
is going on.
quite a shift today.
Yeah.
It's been a very strange day today.
So honestly, that's why this card literally just came out. So you need to define your goals and what you want. You need to go write them down. You need to define them. Like, what is it that you really want? Like, you need to reflect on that. And you need to keep that in your memory of what this outcome is that you want. You need to when your mind starts to go negative, you need to think of those goals and get yourself to that spot. And if you focus that energy on the outcome that you're trying to achieve, then you're going to make your goals happen. The chatter, the irrelevant ideas that are going on in your head, if you listen to that instead, these moments are just going to pass you by. It's just going to, remember, kind of just, I talked about the light and the fire burn to your thumb. And if you just keep focusing on that, these good moments that are happening around you, they're just going to go. You're not even going to notice them. They're just going to pass you by. And then one day you're going to kind of look back and be like, what the hell? Why didn't I just listen to myself for a minute, So, well, that was a lot.
That's definitely a lot, and it makes sense for the quite a bit of a roller coaster that I'm on currently.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it really intertwines, especially with people that I've lost
Mm-hmm.
that were gone way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
People that I really looked up to, and it was more evident because of where I was just on vacation. That's where they were from,
Okay.
and it's just that hit home.
What are those? So people that you asked, multiple. I was right when I said more than one.
Yeah,
But there's one. There's one that's doing you in. There's
it,
one.
it it's the two of them.
It's the two of them. Okay.
Yeah, they were together. They didn't have kids, so they were. Um, Me and my sister were very
Okay.
very close with them growing up, and they both they both passed away of cancer in 2 years times. One, and then 2 years later another one. It's almost like he took her. He couldn't be without her.
Couldn't live without her.
And
that was kind of maybe that parental child kind of thing going down below, and you kind of being so empty.
Yeah.
I like hearing a little bit afterwards.
Yeah,
it makes the cards make a little more sense to me as well.
Yeah, that one went really deep. But it kind of goes into the whole loss thing, because when I'm talking to myself, I talk to them. I know, like, give me an answer or tell me what I'm doing.
Right. But after you ask the question, are you stopping and listening?
I think that's the part that I haven't figured out yet.
So you're gonna have to find a quiet space, whatever it is that, hiking, or a quiet spot where you can sit, or I like to sit in my car with the radio on sometimes, just by myself.
My quiet place is sitting on my kayak in the middle of a pond at 5:30 in the morning, but it's
a little cold for that right now.
I hate the winter.
I agree.
Me too. Well, we have to wrap this one up because we have somebody else. David, you felt like this was helpful for you, I hope?
Yes, very. It put a lot of things into perspective and how I think and what I need to think.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Jill, before we bring the next one on, would you be open to doing a shorter one at the end? Do an extra person tonight who is asking for an emergency reading at the end.
You'll have to shorten me or something.
I will shorten you with the next one. I'm keeping track on the time. It's only 8:33, so we got plenty of time.
Last time I couldn't talk enough, and now.
Jill, you did amazing with him.
Oh.
Absolutely. I don't know if you got the sense from him, but wow, were you right on target with everything he needed to hear. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. I'm sitting here blown away.
I wasn't prepared for that, but it just, I don't know. It's these cards, Dale.
I know. Do you need a few minutes to clear the cards before the next person?
Yeah, just a minute or two.
Yeah, because that was a pretty heavy duty.
That was a big one.
Yeah, and you could see it in your face when you first started reading the cards that it was kind of heavy duty, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It was definitely. Well, I could see it in the cards as soon as I flipped them over that it was.
So as soon as you flip the cards over, you know how the reading's going to go, correct?
I can see. I don't see it all at once. And sometimes it's weird. Sometimes it takes me a couple of cards before I see really where it is I'm supposed to go. Like with him, as soon as I laid it out, I could see this journey that was happening and playing out in front of me. But like sometimes the first couple of cards I flip over, I want to start with them because that's how I do my readings, but that's not where I need to be. So I kind of have to jump somewhere else and then go back. So I guess it all depends on the story that it's trying to tell me.
Yeah. No, it does. Absolutely. That's exactly right. I mean, it's amazing how, and you can see it when you're doing your readings, Jill. You can see how the cards are talking to you.
Really?
You really can. You can see how they are talking to you. You're like, all right, hold on, wait a minute. And then you'll wait and you're like, oh, okay. So this means like, you can just see how it's all playing out for you. It's really incredible. It really is. The connection you have with those cards is fabulous. It really is. It's powerful.
Yeah. It is. These ones are definitely.
Yeah, they're definitely your cards.
Yep.
Okay, are we ready for the next person?
We are.
All right, buddy.
Hi, Jill.
Hey,
hi, Dale.
How are you?
I am very nervous. That was fantastic, Jill. I was sitting here and I was like getting goosebumps, and then I was like not getting teary-eyed, but I was just like, oh. That's heavy. That was heavy, but that
we were just discussing how heavy that was.
Oh yeah, no, I feel that. That was definitely heavy. Which like this is going to be interesting coming off of that one. That's for sure. It's very interesting.
So I'm just
Very
going to be
interesting.
quiet. I'm going to let Jill do her thing. Okay.
Okay.
I won't say boo.
Okay. So I'll go through and then we can chat a little bit at the end. And do a 6-card reading. So I'm going to do that for you now. I use a Guardian Tarot. They're very nature based. So lots of trees and birds and scenery.
Pretty.
You're going to see. Okay. Oh. Sorry. But I love
Okay.
that girl.
I like this.
I love that girl. Yeah. She's good. Oh, you're a fire.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
frightening. But
Oh.
keep it coming.
Oh. We like to. You're a quiet fire. You're a fire who
Interesting.
kind of likes to be an introvert, it looks like. Everybody's starting with pentacles tonight.
Oh boy.
Loving the pentacles. Your reading is. This is going to be a little bit of a ride too.
Wow.
Place. Wow. All right.
Wow. Okay.
So again, the full moon's strong in your readings. I'm going to pull your cards up for you as we go.
Okay.
Wow. So you now it's so funny that this is kind of a little bit along the same lines, but I don't know if it's because I'm still okay. So you've got your 2 of Pentacles here. She came out first.
Oh, she's pretty.
And she's really pretty. I love her. And she's got some spirituality and a little sass in her life. And I kind of feel like
It's fair.
she represents you a little bit, where you're kind of like a look at the moon and dance under the stars and
Yes.
light a fire and just kind of watch the smoke and see what you see. You kind of look at things and you see things and you don't really let anybody know that you do that. You kind of just do it. Because you're in a desert. And I said, this is going to be an interesting reading because you're a fire, but like you kind of like to be alone, but you're kind of like this fiery personality. And so the 2 of Pentacles just kind of, you're weighing a lot of things out all of the time. You're always like, well, I want to do this, but there's all of these other things. And well, it has to stay here. Like you can never let yourself kind of like be like, no, this is what I'm going to do today. And it doesn't really matter about this other stuff, if that makes any sense. And then, there's the 6 of Cups came and, cups don't come in my readings a lot. So that's why I said this is going to be a little bit of a dance.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you her. And I feel like this is you maybe a little further down the line. Typically my readings stay a little more in the present, a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future. But I feel like this is a little further in the future than I usually go. So I'm going to show her to you. And if you can see her, she's looking back on a life that, she really loved. She grew in her spirituality and she did the things she loved. But if you look down here, there's a road. Do you see the road down on the bottom?
Okay. Yes.
See. So there's a road there. And if you look closely, it's really hard to see on the screen here. You allowed so many crossroads in your life that as you grew, you had beautiful things, but you didn't ever really fully let it happen because every time it started to happen, you were like, no, I gotta go this way now because that's really not what I want. And as an older person, you look like you're in your so like maybe in your 40s, you're gonna look back and be like, oh my God, like I had all of these good things going on and I grew a little bit and I have this great spiritual side and I can make good things happen for myself. But every time it happens, I just say, well, I'm going to go a different way because that's not supposed to happen for me. That's not for me. That's for somebody else. So I'm going to try something else.
Fair.
Yeah, that's what she's telling me. That's 6 of Cups. So now we jump straight to the Knight of Wands, and he's my fiery soul. That path kind of is still in front of you, and there's a little bit of crossroads, but there's like these deep, deep roots. These deep, deep roots of, I don't know, kind of like manifesting the things that you want, you know, and things like that. It's a really pretty card. This Knight of Wands. I'm going to show him to you in 1 second. So things are leaving you. Things are leaving you. They're burning away from you. They're leaving you. They're like, see you in the middle there of the fire, and down where my thumb is on both sides, there's trees and there's that path down below, and there's that strong root coming down your face, and the full moon and all that things, but you're burning away the things that just don't need to be with you anymore. You're kind of like, you need to continue to do that. You need to continue to burn away those things that just don't serve your purpose anymore. Habits, people, things. You just need to kind of need to just let it, this is a time for you. It's not a time for the things around you. It's a time for you. And, you may feel a little, the mask. You see how, the painted white face with the fiery eyes. You may feel like you need to hide a little bit because, if all those things leave you, who are you going to be? Like who, like, you're going to be left with the things you need. Just know that. You don't have to weigh it out. You don't have to say, well, if I choose this and then that. No, you just need to let them go. And after all the things that are too much noise in your life go, you're going to be able to see the things that are left are what are going to serve you best to continue on your path. And you're going to grow in this wisdom, We went back to the cups. I told you, cups don't necessarily make appearances in my readings. So this is, those strong roots that you have and knowing who you are, you're going to take you places. If you look beneath his nice, long, little Rudy fingers, there's a map there, and X marks the spot. Like, once you let those things go, you're going to be like, hey, I don't need to take all these crossroads to get where I'm going because this is where I'm going. I see it now. I know where it is. And it's going to be a good place. Like, you're at the beach. Come on.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. And you kind of, you're going to know that. You're going to be able to kind of sail through this, and you're going to navigate this right. Just because you keep seeing all these twists and turns doesn't mean you don't have what's inside to navigate to that path, like to the X marks the spot, to where you want to be. Like, you definitely can navigate there. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything with him because cups are. Yep. Kind of where you need to be. You're just exactly where you need to be right now. You're doing what you should.
Interesting.
And this role that you're playing right now is going to play an important part in your story of becoming this woman that you're going to become. This was one of our cards in the beginning. Remember, I told you
yes,
a lot of things were going, but she didn't fully let it happen. Where you are right now is going to help decide where you end up, if that makes sense. Let me clarify
yes,
a little bit. Okay. So strong. You got a knight and a king. King. Back to my pentacles. He's got beautiful beautiful feathers, and he's got a full moon on his forehead, and it's reflecting down, and you know, this is a guardian that kind of helps you embrace your fears, the fears that you're not sure of. But there's like an ancestry there. You know, do you see he's got lots of branches and lots of limbs out there. So he's kind of, you know, he's embracing that you're afraid and that you have these super strong passions, and that you feel things. You feel things strongly. You have strong emotions toward where your life is going. But you need to recognize that your feelings are kind of on the money, and you need to you need to listen to them. You need to listen to your feelings. You need to embrace them as part of you, because that's who you really are. And if you try to hide away and you don't let yourself be, past things that have happened to you are just going to continue to happen. You're going to keep in this way and that way and this way and that way and this way and that way. You're not going to if you don't become aware of these old patterns, it's going to kind of be an end for you. Not like, you know, that didn't come out right. I'm sorry. But like, it's
okay.
going to be like you're growing, and you, like I said, you love the moon and the stars and the beach, and you're in tune with yourself. But if you don't recognize these patterns that are happening, then it's just going to end. Like, it's going to stop. You're going to stop believing. You're not, the feelings, the strong passions that you have, they're just going to stop. You're not going to be able to act upon them, because it's just going to stop, because you're not listening. Not listening.
Well, okay.
You know, you spend a lot of time lost in your thoughts. A lot of time. A lot of time.
I
much
do.
time.
I do.
So much time. And
yes.
sometimes you're kind of unaware of anything else that's going on around you, because you're so lost in your thoughts.
Yep.
You don't tend to take time for yourself when you need to take time for yourself.
That's a fair statement.
But you know you need to take time for yourself, and you want to take time for yourself, but everybody kind of is more important, and you don't really want to set boundaries, but you want to be alone, but you don't want to set the boundaries to tell those people that you need to be alone for a little while. Like, it has nothing to do with them, but you just kind of need to be alone for a little bit. You need to remember to take the time. You need to take as much time as you needed. You have, this is my favorite birds, that eagle up there.
It's really pretty. Yeah.
He's like looking over you going, yeah, go sit alone for a little while. Sit on the edge of that rock over at the ocean and
take a time out.
Just breathe. But not in your head. Like, don't go and overthink yourself. That's not taking time for yourself. That's just letting you get lost in your thoughts, and letting your thoughts take you down all of these crazy paths. Like, when I say take time for yourself, like, empty your head and really come into your surroundings and listen to, you know, if it's the beach that you love, those ocean, the waves crashing, and, you know, the sounds that are happening all around you, opposed to all of the thoughts where you're like, I'm just going to go sit and I'm going to think about, you know, what way I want to go on this path today, what journey, what one am I going to pick today? What's the lucky path? Like, that's not what you need to do. You need to and just let that go, and just kind of bring it in and kind of focus on what is happening around you in nature, and that'll ground you. And I think once you become more grounded, you're going to be able to follow that straight path that you're so desperately looking for. Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
Well,
okay.
So, do we need more? Do we have time for more on today?
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes more.
Okay. What do you need from me? Do you need?
I don't. I wish I knew. No, whatever you think is best. I'll defer to you.
Okay.
Did it all make sense for you, Kay?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I think. Of course, I have questions.
well,
That's not
like,
shocking. But I guess I know I mean, I just, yes, it all makes sense. It's all accurate. It's all, the eagle is 100% my mother, like 100%. That's no
Mhm.
surprise there. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think the rest of it makes total sense. I think I I'm buying a flower shop. That's like my goal. That's what I'll be doing. But that
Mhm.
also means that I'm in I guess crossroads is fair to say,
Mhm.
but I am currently right now a teacher. It's my last year of teaching. So, but I keep kind of going back and forth about whether I take this time to regroup myself or I finish the school year.
Oh,
So
well.
that's like where my headspace
So
is.
you need to recall conversations with your mother or
Oh,
anybody else in your past
okay.
that may have kind of played a role in your life, either good or bad. It doesn't have to all be good.
Okay.
And while you're looking into the future, you need to use that kind of knowledge in what you're putting forth.
Okay.
As these new ideas, this flower shop is coming to you and it's what you want, and
Yeah.
you're not sure if
Yeah.
you want school or you want the flower shop. That's all coming from your subconscious, and it's there
Okay.
and it's what you want. You need to take hold of it. You need to nurture it like a baby, and you need to hold on to those dreams until they become tangible. They will be tangible. You just need to
Okay.
nurture what it is that you really want. You need to decide.
Okay.
Your flower shop's going to be tangible if you nurture it. So if that means leaving the school year right now because you need to nurture what's going to make you happy, then it's scary. Things
Interesting.
things around you, remember, things around you are burning away that don't serve you purpose. So maybe teaching's just not serving you purpose. Maybe it served purpose in your past,
You
but it's
right.
not
Right.
serving you purpose
Right.
now. It's not
Interesting.
giving
Okay.
you what you need in life
It's
to
no.
fulfill
Right.
that spiritual side that you need. You
Interesting.
know,
Okay. Okay.
because that's what I picked as you were talking to me. Do you see?
Oh dear God. Let me.
Nothing.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's not a baby. We're not
No,
saying
thank
having a
God.
baby.
Nope.
That's not what
That's
this
great.
was talking about. This is
Yeah.
you saying this flower shop is my baby. And
Right.
like, what do I
Right.
need to do to breathe life into this baby? What are the things I need to do? What do I need to let fall away? And what do I need to focus
Yes. Okay.
on? Does that
Definitely.
tie together a little bit more?
I think as Dale's like grinning from ear to ear over here, I can't.
I'm not saying a word. I'm just
Of course you're
enjoying
not.
the whole
Of course. Take it all in. Take it
I
all
am
in.
taking it all. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think that's super insightful. I think, of course, that is just, I think it's a great concept. It's just a matter of figuring out how to go about doing that, which then, of course, like requires getting lost in thought, because I was always a person that needed like 8 plans in case the first, 7 failed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it sounds wonderful. It's just a matter of what I need to do with that, if that makes sense.
So you need to take some time to not get lost in your thoughts.
Right, which is also part of the problem.
You need to figure out the thing that you can do that shuts the thoughts off. There's got to be something that you do, because when you shut off what you're thinking, it allows room for other thoughts to come through. So there's something trying to come out, but because you're in control of all the thoughts that are going through your head, you're not letting.
There isn't anything. Okay, there isn't anything in that card deck that can tell me how to do that, because I would love to know how to press the off button. That would be great. I would assume not, but just curious.
There's not a magic wand in my card deck.
Darn. That's
a
okay.
magic wand in my card
That's
deck.
okay. That is
But-
okay.
Kay is always
Okay.
looking for the magic wand.
Sure am. Sure
What
am.
like what makes you happy? It makes me happy. I like to drive with the music on by
Love
myself.
that. Love that.
And that's when I think about nothing except
Yep.
for singing very loud to whatever stupid song that comes on. The 80s do it for me. And
Love
I
that.
sing, and my brain just kind of stops overthinking because I am one of the queens of overthinking.
We have that in common. Yes.
So that's like one of my things. You have to think, what is one of your things? Like for some people, it's painting. For some people, it's just laying on the couch with some something in the background noise. For some people, it's a freaking concert or shopping. Like, I don't know what that thing is for you. You have to think back to, think back when you were a kid. Think back when you were a kid and you didn't overthink.
I mean, this has been constant. I think like since birth, that's just how I've run, which is fine. It definitely has its pros and cons for sure.
Right.
No, that definitely gives me something to think about. I think like flowers, arranging, those are therapeutic
That's true.
for me. Definitely. Definitely. And finding time to do that is easy. I make time to do that, but I also think too, I need to make the time to do that, whatever that looks like, more time to do that.
Yes.
Because that's what I enjoy.
But we have to wrap up because we have one more person we have to try to squeeze in.
Jill,
Kay,
thank you so much.
so much for
You're
Jill,
welcome,
thank
Caitlin.
you. Such a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Okay, we do have one more.
Yep.
We have about 8 minutes. to
Okay.
do the third person. I'm not sure if they are ready. If they are, I'll ask Buddy to bring the third person in.
Yep.
Let me just see. He sent me a text during this whole thing, so I'm not sure if the person's coming on or.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, Buddy, if the other person is ready, we can bring the third person in whenever. Unless you want Jill just to do Oh, okay. So it's not live. For someone named Juanita, had a very difficult day today and would just like you to give a general reading for that person.
Juanita. Okay.
And again, Jill, this last reading, you were spot on again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. General reading. I don't know that I can define the readings that I do. They're just kind of readings. But this Ace of Swords coming out first. I did a quicker one with just three cards.
Okay.
And God, every full moon card has come out.
Really?
It's insane.
Huh.
There's only like 6 or 8 of them, and I think I've gotten 5 of them.
During the full moon.
During the full moon.
That's very cool. I told you the energy was wild today.
Definitely wild. Why is that? I was like, that is not. This is so tough for me. This person kind of, I feel like she is kind of like a patriarch of her family, or like it's hard for me when I don't hear their voice and I know it is. I don't know them. I need a little bit of connection to.
Well, when there's no energy around you. Yeah.
Right. It's hard for me to. I'm struggling with this. Hold on. Let me Let me look a little bit further into this. Why? Because she's at the beginning. She's a very strong person. She's very, very, very important. Maybe she holds an important job, or she's in an important, like, an important position. But she feels on the inside a little. So what she feels on the inside is ready to come out. You know, what she's holding on to, what she's feeling needs to come out. Whether it's some turmoil that she needs to clear up, or it's like a dream of hers. She needs to start speaking her mind on the matter. She needs to speak up, for lack of a better term. She holds all of the keys. You know, she's this beautiful winged person, and she comes out in the full moon, and she's got roots and branches and far reaches to places, but she doesn't speak up when she wants to say what she needs to say. And she needs to understand that nothing's gained by holding that in. Nothing is gained by staying silent. Nothing is gained by just accepting what's happening around you. Like, you need to speak up. I don't know what it's about, but you just need to speak up. You need to speak your piece.
Can you see her picture that Buddy put up? Can you see her picture on the screen?
I can see her picture. I can't.
All right.
I can. She also because there's so much, and she's got so many ties, and she's not speaking up. She's not harnessing her power. Like, she's not living true to herself, and she's not really putting her plans into motion to be successful in life, whether it be in relationship or in job. She's not harnessing the power and to be able to put it out there. You know, she's just kind of letting it go by. She's staying quiet and just letting things happen and going, it's supposed to happen that way. I'm just going to let it happen that way. But that's not what she needs to do. She needs to let the energy flow through her. So I don't know if she can see my card there, but she's a goddess, and she's got her arms around the sun, and there's so much energy coming from the sun, and she could, like, I really feel like, I don't even know who you are, Juanita, but girl, you could rule the world if you spoke up. Like, if you didn't stay so quiet about things, because you kind of have it all. You really do. You kind of got it going on. Like, so much, it's like the core of your being. It's not just like you just like became this like force of nature. Like, this is to the core of your soul, of who you are. And as, like, you put that little bit out there, you know, to the skin of the people that, like, pass you in your presence, like, you really have the power to open people's souls. Like, Dale, she's like, don't even know her, but she's kind of a powerful being. She's just a powerful being.
Can you feel her energy? Can you feel her power?
I can. I mean, the Ace of Swords came out, and I knew right away that, you know, with all of those roots and the wings and the full moon, and she's just rising up above. Like, you can feel that goddess warrior inside of her. But because she's so quiet about things, she's not taking the energy and holding on to it and spreading it to the people who need it. She's just like, that's, you know, like, that's not me. I'm not strong. And I'm not going to speak up about that. But, like, she really, really, truly is. And then my pentacles. Everybody got pentacles tonight. Pentacle for you, pentacle for me, pentacle for everyone. another, another card signifying like you're right where you need to be right now. Just don't be so quiet about it. It's a little harder on this little screen.
Yeah,
But
right.
like you're at a content place in life and things are kind of growing around you and they're all these little things and all these little roots and ties, they're going to work out in their own little way. Like as long as you stay true to you and you speak out about how you feel about it, they're all just going to kind of find they're going to work their way away from you, and you're not going to have to worry too much about it because that power that you're sharing with people just kind of like rubs off on them and it kind of smooths things over. Sometimes, what people are thinking or saying to you, it's not really any of your concern. It doesn't really concern you, but you kind of internalize it and then you get quiet about it. And then that kind of quiets your soul. And I think you need to stop doing that. I think you need to stop internalizing and taking what people have to say like so much inside of you, because it
Yeah.
doesn't really, you're not that person. You're this fiery, strong kind of goddess of a person. And you just need to embrace that side, I think. That's kind of how I feel. I wish she was like here.
I know. Maybe
don't
next
know.
time you come on, we can bring her on.
Yeah, I don't know.
To see how you did with it. I mean,
Right.
it's you. When you first started reading about her, I mean, you could see the passion that you were feeling, how strong she was. You could see it in your face.
Right.
Thank you so much for staying on a few extra minutes and doing this for her too. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much,
No
Jill.
problem.
We are
You're
definitely bringing you back on again because
Sounds
you
good.
are absolutely amazing. For our viewing audience, just so you know, and for you, Jill, Sunday night at 7:05 on Legit Paranormal, the one and the only Roland Comtois will be on the show with Buddy. So
Awesome.
please join in. Roland is probably, without a word of a doubt, and Jill can verify this, he's the best medium there is in the country by far.
Absolutely.
So join that show because you will not be disappointed. And to everyone who joined us tonight, thank you so much. Namaste. Have a wonderful week. I will see you all next week again. Good night.
Bye. Good night.